Hey, once again, welcome to The Greatest Pursuit. What is the greatest pursuit? I mean, think about it. Out of all the things that we could go after, even the good things, spending time with our families, careers, goals, dreams that we have, out of all that there is that we could pursue, what is the greatest? That's the word, isn't it? The greatest pursuit. Well, according to the Apostle Paul, it's one thing and one thing only. Love is the greatest. It's almost like I hear the Apostle Paul saying in the midst of his discussion that we're going over in 1 Corinthians 13, just yelling loudly, love is all that matters. Again, he had a corrective tone in his voice as he talked to the Corinthians who had so many good things going on, but they didn't love others. That's why he said, if I could talk with all the tongues of men and even of angels, but if I didn't love others, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I had prophetic powers, if I knew all of God's secret plans, if I knew all that stuff, and even if I had faith that could move mountains, but if I didn't love others, I would be nothing. And if I gave everything I had to the poor and even sacrificed my own body, I could boast about it, but at the end of the day, it would gain me nothing. I can hear the Apostle Paul saying, the only thing that really matters is love. For the great awakening we're about to step into, there's one thing and one thing only that's really going to matter, and it's love. Who love is and how we love him and how we love each other. The Apostle Paul says we do that like this. He said, love is patient. So how does love flesh itself out? What does it look like? It's patient. It's kind. It's not jealous, not boastful or proud or rude. It doesn't demand its own way. Isn't that interesting? Have you noticed how we tend to demand our own way? We have, as Americans, we love our rights, and I'm glad that we have rights, but according to the Apostle Paul's words, inspired by the Holy Spirit, sometimes the best thing to do is not to even fight for your right and not even seek to have your rights, but always looking out for somebody else. It doesn't demand its own way, and it's not irritable, keeps no record of being wrong. That word isn't irritable. In the King James Version, it would say it's not easily provoked. And really, there's not even a word easily that's supposed to be there. In the Greek, it just means love is not provoked. Love can't be provoked. Love is unoffendable. What I'd like you to do tonight is to look at a familiar story of the prodigal son. It's a story of a young man that went away from his dad, did his own thing, and really messed up his life, finally came back. In Luke 15, he came back home. What stands out to me that I want you to talk about is the attitude of the older brother. Because it wasn't one of love. He was so provoked that his dad would love his son who did so many bad things wrong. He was so provoked and angry about it. He just sat there angry and wouldn't even go into the party to celebrate. What is it that provokes you? What is it that irritates you? And how is it that we can live with God's love poured out into our lives that causes us to live a life that can't be offended? Man, what can that look like, and how can we live that way? That's what I'd like you to talk about tonight. God bless you, and let's continue to grow in love.